Hiya, Graham and Shirley here from Sanjay Adventures. Welcome. We're in the beautiful harbour town of Girne, and we're going to have an explore this beautiful little place, look round all the old part of the town and take you down the high street. So hope you come along with us and enjoy the video. We've parked just at the top of the high street here in Girne. I'm going to walk down the high street now, but between the car park and the high street is a very old Ottoman cemetery, and we'll walk through that. Many old graves still remain, and then there's the little central area there as well. It's very pretty, surrounded by all these lovely pine trees. Here we are, we just come to the top of the high street now, and there's a small square. And the white building over here used to be the Belvedere main office, but that's moved up to the roundabout we just came past on. And we'll take a little wander down the high street here. Quite early in the morning, it's still 9:30, but I would say that the temperature outside is probably about 35 degrees. Beautiful view of the mountainside behind us here, and the village you can see up in the distance is called Kyrenia. High street, like any tourist town in the Mediterranean, is full of lots of restaurants and bars. The high street is lined with Benjamin trees. You can still see in the distance Kyrenia. And that rather pointed mountain sticking out the top there is St. Hilarion Castle. That's a sort of Crusader castle, and we'll pay a visit up there in another vlog. The city's still waking up at the moment. To our right here is the Round Tower, which was one of the fortifications on the old city wall of Kyrenia. There's not much of that main wall remaining now, but the bits we'll find, and we'll try and video them for you. So this is right at the very top of the high street. You can see all the pigeons nesting in the stonework there. And we're going to take a right turn and walk down this part of the town here. Some stunning old buildings here which have been restored over the years. This whole area to the right of where we are now is part of the old quarter, which we'll have a wander through later on. But some lovely views. Just walking down to the bottom end of this particular street. Lots of interesting little shops around here. We've just come to the best gift shop in Cyprus now, and it's two shops full of traditional wear, and it's owned by my dear friends Typhoon.
Hello, how are you?
Hi Typhoon, good to see you. Just opposite Typhoon's shop here, there's some examples here of Greco-Roman rock graves. They're all closed off now, but these were all carved into the rock in Roman and Greek times, would you believe it? So swing around here at the bottom of the hill here. I've also got a very old Greek church up the steps there, partially covered in bougainvillea. Very pretty. We'll have a wander around the old park shortly. The end of this street opens right out onto the waterfront here. Lovely restaurant there, called Nima. We've met in there a number of times. You just see a small boat coming out of the harbour to our right. We'll explore that bit again in a minute, but first we're going to come down the steps here and have a walk along the seafront. There's a lot of development going. They're upgrading all of this walkway along here, and it should look really lovely when it's finished. Again, in the distance you can see the mountains, and you can see Kyrenia Castle up there as well. There's some major celebrations coming up on the 20th of July, and all of this work has to be completed by then. Well, we've just walked round to Gner Harbor. It's spent over the last 18 months a massive refurbishment, and we'll have a wander around there in a minute. But what we'll do first, we'll walk out on the harbour wall and look back in towards the harbour itself. It's very beautiful. There's a fantastic setting here. As you look round, you can see the walls of the old castle here, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. And the harbour opens out before us. Very beautiful. In the distance you can see the new harbour with the modern ferry boats. Getting a clearer view of the castle here now, which is quite stunning. And if we turn around, we start to get a fuller view of the whole harbour itself, which is really quite beautiful. As you look over the harbour wall out to sea, you see all the tourist boats now beginning to start up on their daily cruises. They come in all shapes and sizes. I think this one here is a pirate boat. A couple more here. We'll spread round again. See the city of Girne spread out before us. And a fantastic view up the top there of Kyrenia Castle. Just do one final look around the whole harbour itself. It really is a stunning spot. We're going to take a little walk now around the harbour side itself and then cut up into part of the old town just behind the harbour, and then we'll end up on the far side there, hopefully in a restaurant called Kyrenia, which looks back over the harbour again. But they've done a truly splendid job here. They've moved all the chairs and tables, etc., right from the harbour side further back. So there's this lovely walkway now, very clear walkway all the way around the whole of the harbour. And they have done an absolutely cracking job. Just over here you can see another round tower, which was part of the original city wall and joins up with the other round tower we saw earlier on in the vlog. We're just going to take some steps up now from the harbour itself, and this takes us up into the old part of the city, where there are lots and lots of very old buildings mixed with modern ones as well. Stunning old stone building work, Ottoman style villas, and then modern 1970s hotel accommodation. So following on here, we'll walk down this little area. Loads of nice little Airbnbs and small boutique hotels around this area now. And this area has been developed quite considerably over the years. Particularly beautiful old street down here. This is the back of all those buildings that we walk past down in the harbour itself. Here's another one of the towers from the city walls. And just in the background there's a cat chasing a lizard, and I think he's just caught it. It's quite a pretty area, isn't it? All very nice around here. Just stopped for a coffee in a little lane. There's a lovely cool breeze, and surrounding this lane are loads of pictures of Ataturk, who's a father obviously of the Turkish nation. And just over there, we're just on the edge of the harbour itself. It's quite a nice little spot. Beautiful doorway there. And loads of little alleyways all round this area here. We're going to walk down here past the mosque. It's the Kyrenia Palace Motel now. I'll have a quick look just inside the entrance hall here. It's very lovely. Beautifully restored traditional Cypriot building and design. Staircase which takes you up again to the top of the town. They're an old cobbled street which takes you up to old customs offices and warehouses here. We're walking back down again now towards the harbour side, but above the harbour. Walk past some really nice coffee shops. We come down to the end restaurant on the harbour nearest the castle, the Kyrenia. We brought Shirley's dad over here quite a few years ago now, and he was 92 and he thought it was absolutely wonderful. So we'll come in here and have ourselves a nice cold drink, I think, and maybe even something to eat before we go and have a look over there at the castle. In the meantime, drink cool stuff. We will be able to grab one of these tables and have a seat.
Just about to enter Gner Castle, and it's only 50 TL to come. There's just over £1.
Well worth it, because it's a fascinating old building, and hopefully we'll have a good look round now. Apparently where the road was here, this used to be a moat. I think it silted up many years ago and they turned it into a road. Huge thick walls here, as you can see as we walk up into the castle itself. One heck of a lot of building went into this. Just as you enter the castle, on the left hand side there's a tunnel which takes you through to a 12th century church built originally by the Byzantines. It was built as a basilica in design of a cross and later converted into a church. It was enlarged later on in the Lusinian period and then incorporated into the castle itself with the Venetians. The dome of the church was taken off in the Venetian period, and it wasn't until the British colonial period that they rebuilt the dome. Let's have a wander down and see what we find. Beautiful little church. Gorgeous. We're into another tunnel. We're into the central area of the castle itself. It's a lot more substantial than you actually realise in the first place. I'll start over here and do a big pan all the way around the central area. Incredible. This area here is often used as a performance space, and we've been here to see traditional folk dancing and music on a number of occasions. It's quite atmospheric here within the castle walls. We'll finish off eventually by taking a walk around the parapet all the way round, but until then we'll see what else we can find. Let's go into one section here of the castle, which is looking at the sort of Neolithic Stone Age, and they have examples of finds they've made in Cyprus here. Flint tools, stone beads, bone beads, etc. And then they've created a sort of wall art here looking at how life would have been like in the Neolithic age. And they've built a stone shelter here which is covered, just to give you an idea of what the living accommodation was. For example, someone using mortars and pestles. Another exhibition here of a tomb found in Gner, which is right down here in this part of the island. Again, further examples of stone beads, etc. And then a cut-out version of what the tomb actually looked like in real life. I'll try and get a bit closer, give you an idea of the sort of finds that they have here. Now enter the Shipwreck Museum. I can actually remember coming here as a child. This is quite fascinating. They found a shipwreck just off the north coast here, which is about 2,300 years old, and they found on it 400 wine amphora, which were made in Rhodes and Samos, and they were the main cargo. There were millstones, and the stone quarry probably came from Kos apparently, fishing obviously, and the wooden hull built by an Aleppo pine was preserved for a length of almost 12.5 metres. She sailed at 4 or 5 knots and was quite an incredible ship. And in here there's some examples of the route that this particular ship probably took here. So from Samos, past Kos and Rhodes, and down towards Kyrenia. And here's some sketches of the type of ship that it was. They're quite a sophisticated ship at the time. There's a nice mural here depicting what it probably looked like. And here is a cross-section of the ship and the examples of the amphoras and grain mills that were actually found here. An incredibly important find, this. This north section of the tower was used in the British period as a prison. Up to the top of the battlements here in the north side, you can see a ferry coming in here, and I'll do a pan round. You can see the city, St. Hilarion, and then the expanse of the castle grounds here and walls as we go round. On the top of one of the north towers, again, a stunning view. And we walk round the commanding view that this castle had for the harbour here, and the protection it must have offered to marauding groups of people who tried to come to the island. And over here we can see the modern port that's been developed, and there are regular ferry services across to the Turkish mainland. Look down there in distance to the actual Five Finger Mountains themselves, to Buffavento Castle. Lovely view here from the southern ramparts of the castle, looking down into the centre of the castle there. And we come back out of the castle again. That glorious view of the harbour. What a splendid castle that was. Very impressive. I imagine quite impregnable as well. Just walking back up from the harbour now, up the second main shopping street now. Very much geared towards the tourists, this road. Coming back up from the castle now towards the town centre. We'll walk again back through the old park to the round tower. There's lots of beautiful old buildings here in the process of being restored, and lots of little hotels and cafes and bars. And most importantly, hopefully a bit more shade. It is very hot now. Good to keep in the shade as much as possible. There's a big Colony Hotel, which is very posh, and next to it is an art gallery. It's the Rodin Sculpture Centre, a lot of original Rodin. We now come to the House, which is a beautiful cafe restaurant opposite the Arkin Colony Hotel. And this was an old British colonial style house. And it really is quite lovely. So we'll pop in and just show you around. But here we are, traditional veranda all the way around. Very beautiful. So we'll just have a pop in and have a wander around and just show you it. But this is a must-do place to come to if you want to eat here in Girne.
Hello
there. Yes, thank you. Can I have a film?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Very high ceiling, very cool building. There's an art gallery underneath. A beautiful big veranda all the way around this building. Very lovely. And they turned it into a really nice restaurant. Just up from the garden is a very famous old restaurant which was used by expats right from years and years ago. It's called the Grapevine. It's unfortunately closed again today, but it's a very traditional Cypriot building. Maybe you can just see through the gate here. It's unfortunately closed, but it's a beautiful old restaurant, and it used to serve the most beautiful duck. Just past the castle, between the castle and the port, is the Girne Amphitheatre, which is a fantastic place, venue for about 2,000–3,000 people, and they have fantastic concerts here and various other things, and it's set in the most beautiful backdrop of the sea there. As we drive out of the town centre, we hope you've enjoyed our tour of the beautiful Girne and its harbour. It's a place really worth exploring. So next time you're here, have a wander around some of these back streets. You'll be surprised at the beauty and the interest that there is here. In the meantime, if you could press the like and subscribe button, that will really help us develop the channel and create more videos for you. So all it leaves me to say is thank you very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again soon on our next vlog.